What's going on, Soul Tribal Life Community? Ashe. And to be for all the great indigenous melanated tribes, universities scattered. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Before I go further, let me do a little brief of great connection. Two more times. Okay. And then I'm gonna do this right here. Okay, Ashe, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Let me just transport this back for a brief moment. See something on the floor for a sec. Start to keep a little clean. Oh, dang. Keep a little clean area right quick. Give thanks. Alrighty. Thank you so much for tuning to this beautiful, great Satnam. First of all, I'm grateful to be blessed to be present with this Satnam, beautiful, great meditation state, and honored to be present in a meditation state, to healthy, collective meditation state, and it's an honor. It's an honor. Blessings, man. Sometimes at first I have a little challenge with this little blessing here for a sec. Just using a little scent. I like doing that. Alright, so let's go forth. Let's go forward. Respectfully, let's go forward. Let's go forward with life. Continue with the celebration of life, the chi of life. As said before, man, I'm respectfully honored to communicate in deep awe and deep gratitude of much appreciation of celebration of life. Today, just to reflect, I believe today is the 19th, which is Wednesday. And I want to welcome my ancestors respectfully. Want to welcome them into this connection. Want to welcome my celestial universal ancestors into this connection. Those of, when I mean in terms of ancestry, meaning that loved ones respectfully who have had their body has been buried away or cremated, whatever, meaning that their body been basically burned and they just didn't have that traditional burial into the earth's soil. And soil is also saying S-O-U-L. So we got S-O-I-L and then we got S-O-U-L. So give thanks for my ancestors, those who was properly buried in the earth soil in a helpful way, in a healthy way, in a helpful way. That is honored, that honors them, that gives gratitude and much appreciation. Now, as far as history for me and my blood family tree, I don't recall too much of celebrating many of my ancestors respectfully. The only one I recall of celebrating my ancestors is actually my sister who was buried in 2008. So my mother goes to her gravesite, if she still do, on her birthday, and she goes to do a memorial for her services, a memorial for her. Traditionally bring flowers maybe, and then lay them at her gravesite, if that still occurs. I don't know any update status. My mother still do that. Last time she told me probably a year ago, a couple of years ago, I don't know, but she made an effort in her own personal life to do that on a routine. So I personally didn't do that, so I didn't have access to be around and go do stuff like that. But in gratitude in my prayer closet, in the depths of my soul and spirit, I still acknowledge and that knowing within myself my beloved sister. So much respect to Shawana, rest in peace to her. And I include her into this connection, respectfully. So I welcome my celestial universal ancestors into this connection, and even my healer ancestors into this connection, and respectfully my minister ancestors into this connection. And then respectfully also I welcome any of my ancestors who is actually of the spirit of nature, who is a extension of that reflection of nature, in a healthy way, and whatever that could be, elemental elemental connections and stuff like that. So I give thanks for their counsel. I give thanks for their presence. I give thanks for what they do for me, and overall, of course, overall the family blood tree, bloodline. I give thanks for what they've been doing for the family, and I also respectfully give thanks for what they've been doing for their grandchildren, including my 5-year-old daughter. So what I want to break in this Satnam beautiful, great premeditated to a meditative state video in this recording. Today, actually, I was off, just resting. Today was a resting body day, resting my host, earthly topical host body, because not on a 24/7, on a just a consistent basis, just to say simply consistent basis, it's always in service. It's always doing services. It's always in service mode. So that's just a blessing for the chi life, the inner lasting, abundant of life, the blessing of life. So what I want to talk about, I want to break bread in this beautiful session and give thanks for the beautiful, great setting too, in this healthy atmosphere to do such videos as this blessing to share on the platform of YouTube. I'll be doing a lot of these videos really on YouTube. I really probably want to expand out of YouTube platform. I'll probably just be center in the YouTube platform. But I want to dearly communicate specifically onto, I first want to communicate about the awareness, a high awareness, a assertiveness to this awareness, to the premeditated state awareness of it. I'm going to say the first thing, to really respectfully understand, is to really understand, who, some basic questions we write down. Just give me a moment, just go on my notes right quick. So just to stay in alignment, proper alignment, and not to get out of alignment. The basic question we all probably kind of typically on a maybe on the average on a database deal with is the what, the why, the when, the how, the where. And sometimes the word is it this way, stuff like that. So the main question we kind of probably just really get to, which is one of the root questions, which is who we are. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Why are we here? Where did we come from? What is our origin? How does it enter? How does it connect with the present moment where we're at in this present realm? I always have to give a heads up to many of the viewers, let everybody know so they won't be caught off guard, to understand that this realm that we abide in, as we all will know of, or come to be revealed within our senses, is a temporary realm. We may think this is the final front. Hold on. Just keep going, sorry. We may think this right here is like this is the final realm. Like this is just the final picture to see about life, this realm where we're presently in. And reality of that state, reality of the truth of that matter is that this is respectfully not the final realm. This is not the final dimension. Respectfully, this is not the final reality. This is just respectfully one of the outlets of the many other realities, that has a structure, so as considered to the other realities, they have a structure. So I'm an anime fan. I'm an anime fan. Now I'm not gonna say I'm a fanatic anime fan. Like I will just be so fanatic by anime that I'll probably go outside and start posting anime on the billboard. Not saying I would do that, but I'm not saying I'm that in general. But right now in the present moment, being present in this awareness, What I was just watching is the TV as an anime series called God of High School. And it's a very beautiful, unique anime, man. It's just a wonderful, unique anime expression and cartoon and creativity and just so magnificent in the sense of an expression to it. But what was amazing to me about this series called God of High School is that these specific beings who respectfully have mortal host bodies have some of them, or maybe a lot of them, have enormous abilities. You have, for example, it's a tournament series anime where these beings, these existences come into a ring and they just go all out, and they doing different styles of fighting. You got martial arts, you got jitsu, you got all kinds of unique expression of craftsmanship displayed. And as I was watching this series, it was revealing to me, the revelation was revealing to me, because according to the tournament, there are other entities that will be entering to the tournament respectfully, and they will all be aiming for a goal. Some of them, now don't get me wrong, that could be on the side, on the two sides of the coin here. That could be the light side of it, and that could be the dark side of it. But in creation, as in a reflection of creation aspect, creation does respectfully have a light side of it, and it has a dark side of it. Just to be honest and just to be upfront and just to be respectfully, to be clear, it's respectfully to the term of the virtue, which is equilibrium, balance. So in the end of the equation, balance is really one of the main connections within the equation. So I was watching this, it was coming to me, and this is why it's important to, one, first of all, know yourself. It's important to know your origin, sensitivity to speak. It's respectfully to also important to invest into your body, invest into your soul. I know you can invest on the outside of the exterior of your body. You can invest into, for example, looking good, getting some nice clothes. You know, these are the tangible things that we all experience on the day. Even artificial beings. Artificial beings experience the same thing. You know, they experience having clothes on, having some type of fashion state, going to fashion with things. And then as far as the day-to-day living, they just they interact with the day-to-day activities we are may be on a common ground, having basis similarities interacting with. So when I was watching this series, it was revealing to me, because this is how serious these spirits are. We have to understand that these spirits that are beyond the mortal body, spirits, I'm not talking about humans, I'm not talking about the term humans or mankind. I'm referring respectfully spirits who have been in pre-existence before even the present modern day that we are presently in right now. There are a lot of respectfully ancient spirits that, matter of fact, have took on a mortal form, that have actually know how to speak clear, that know how to even think as a thought process, that knows how to feel emotionally. These spirits are literally respectfully already existing from pre-existing civilization. Now, some may say, what you mean by the term of civilization? You mean referring to mankind? I'm not necessarily referring to the term mankind. Referring respectfully civilization that was not even a 1 point of an existence of mortal. These spirits was existence as respectfully, as I always say, it goes first, spirit first. So these spirits have been in existence since ancient civilization. And they've been having interaction, coming in out of this realm where we're presently in, and then going out of this realm, going to another dimension. Same communication. It's a communication link. It's the in this term we use, in this dimension we use the term Wi-Fi. So it's a Wi-Fi connection, but it's a spiritual communication. And this is a very good practical video, Satnam, because there's so many ways that these spirits, I'm not going to focus on it talking about being unhealthy possessed. Excuse me, belch. That's common. That's very common on these type of sensitive subjects. But I'm referring specifically the importance and the assertiveness of understanding yourself. And I'm not talking about just your body, not just how your body look. But referring to understanding your spirit, and deeply investing into understanding the origin of your spirit, the ancientness to your spirit. That's why inner healing is still in the connection with what I always been talking about through all these Satnam videos. That's why inner healing is important. That's why it's not about knowing collecting all the wisdom of this dimension. Because you can have all of that, which is nice, and it could be beneficial, and it could be helpful, and all the other things. But respectfully, your ancientness of your spirit. See, the ancestors come into this motion, come into this play, in guidance, in counsel, in protection, in deliverances. Because respectfully, they know that these specific entities are not necessarily human. They don't focus on, for example, too much of what we as may be consumed with a little bit within ourselves. You know, these things respectfully spread out, just like genetics. They respectfully spread out. Just like, for example, take the creation for example, artificial beings, not real life. They don't have a spirit. They don't have a soul. I guess I can say that. They don't have a soul. They have a creation. They have a formation, but they don't respectfully have a soul. But they will have an interaction with life. They will have a reflect of a conscious state. And it may not be the universal collectiveness of consciousness there for them, within them, but respectfully, it's a conscious collective state, collecting data. For example, looking at the way the geographic landscape is, they can collect that intel, analyze, and as they know it, they have an understanding how to interact with the things around them, surrounded. And this is a very important, sensitive subject, because when you understand your soul, when you understand your spirit, and you take that investment moments and you invest into yourself, and you invest into your connections, not talking about just your connections within this realm. That's not too much of a need for a big percentage of energy of your chi life to need to focus on investing into your connections that you have within this realm. No disrespect to your connections, but respectfully, there's much more of a percentage, a higher percentage of investing into your spiritual connections, investment. So when you invest into your spiritual connections, and one of your spiritual investment connections, respectfully to say to them, is your ancestors. That's one percentage. Not 1%, like literally 1%, but that's one of the investments right there, just to give you some to continue to give you clarity and soundness there. But invest into your ancestors. You see what has happened throughout the periods of life, the experiences of life. These specific spirits has been already in existence, so they are familiar with the terrain. They're familiar with this dimension, and they're familiar with the capabilities 100% of this dimension. They're familiar with the jurisdictions. They're familiar with the powers, the authorities, the principalities, the dominion. They're familiar with the terrain. They know it as if written on the back of just overall, it was simply revealed to them. So it won't be nothing new to them. If any type of videos like this come up as far as an alert within this realm, and then it's being communicated, it's being revealed to whomever it's respectfully meant to be revealed to. Because I'm not going to say up front, everybody going to, matter of fact, accept this. And I'm not saying you're wrong if you don't accept this at the same time. But I'm happy if it's speaking to you, and it's actually, matter of fact, it resonates, and as a matter of fact, it's meant for you respectfully to receive. Then yes, you are to receive this, and you can apply this. How do you apply within? Now, though me speaking on this type of specific sensitive subject, now these specific entities are not just only the term angels and demons. These are as I said before, these are civilizations. These are prehistoric spirits that have a insight, a sense in connecting to the sensitivities, because outside of this realm, things are very emotional, like very, very emotional. As vice versa, within this realm is motion too, but things are very, very emotional, very, very emotional. And the more and more you have clarity and soundness and concrete about what it is you need to do in this realm, respectfully, what it is that your origin consists of, what it is, what powers and what abilities specifically um, that you are to apply within this realm. It's very important. And it's highly important because what will happen throughout the process of this day-to-day life, this chi life, this soulful life flowing through you, respectfully, in general, what will happen is specifically you will stay in a proper alignment. What's happening in 2020 right now, just being present in this present moment, because I don't need to go too much going back in the past, because the past timelines or lifelines from past already. But in the present moment, in this specific moment, in this year 2020, the frontier, the layer of this dimension has been continually become thinner, and it's already fully open. It's fully accessed. It's fully communicated for any spirits to come in and come out. There's no need, like for example, you go on the freeway, you got to pay a little money for the toll. So there's no need for them to pay for money as a toll to come into this dimension and go back out paying a toll again, because they don't need to do that. Because they're ancient specific things, and there are specific spirits that are in high authorities position that look just like this, look regular, look as if they don't look like there's no type of connection with these type of other existences of other spirits. And that's why premeditation is highly important. Highly important. Not overly important, but highly important. Because it's highly important to be in know your cipher. In hip hop and rap, they use the term cipher. It's highly important to know your soul systems. They use the term solar system. So know your soul within the systems. It's important to understand that. Know how your spirit is communicating within its different principalities and authorities. Because the more clarity that you have of understanding of these operations, with first starting from within, connection from within first, respectfully, by all means, you can be able, not only can you be able to apply being efficient, but not only can you not apply just being efficient, but you can also not get caught up with tangible matters. That doesn't not only, it's not even just about, oh, this doesn't support my higher self, but you won't get involved with tangible matters. That's not even by all means not meant for you to simply get involved with. And what happens throughout the process, the more you have clarity of yourself, and I'm not talking about just clarity of your, again, not just physical appearance, but the clarity of your spirit, clarity of your soul, the more you'll be prepared to know how to practically, fundamentally, and efficiently know how to interconnect. I mean, we have these inner currents, whether they may be tests or they may be revelations of some sort. You'll be able to know specifically how to correspond to them. You won't be respectfully you won't be easily influenced or simply out of influence. Instead, you'll be solid, as like the song would say, you'll be solid as a rock. You'll be grounded. And what we got to do right now in 2020 is that for us, for those whom have this understanding of these other existences, not everybody in this dimension going to have the understanding and be aware of these other existences. They, respectfully, again, do have a conscious state, and it does at times can reflect into intermingle, respectfully, with the universal collective of consciousness, because it is a connection there. These other existences do have a connection to conscious. So that's why I don't try to get too caught up, listen to too many things. I may watch a little, like I said earlier, I may watch a little anime, but even in that process, even in that connection, I don't get caught up with too many other consciousness, because some consciousness is not real consciousness. It's just made of some type of ideal, or made of some type of can be imaginary, can be connected to whatever connections. So to continue to go through a daily diligent purge within yourself, to go through a purge. One of the purges, a purge that I'm just sharing what I go through, One of the purge that I go through is respectfully, it's a label term here, but it would be called the Holy Spiritual Divine Grace of Fire. So I go through that purge on a day-to-day basis. And I'm gonna express why purging is so important. Purging within the spirit is so important because it purges any impurities, anything that is not like I said earlier, not just about being in your highest alignment, but anything that's not even, matter of fact, healthy, that's not balanced, simply grounded, that's not that's not falsehoods, have truths, anything else that can be unhealthy. Overall, simply use the simple term word unhealthy at all within the soul, within the body. So the more you as an individual continue to go through a purge, and that respectfully, the purge can respectfully connect to healing too, because through the purging there will come a uprooting process, the attaching process, then there'll be a cleansing process, and then there'll be a healing process, and there'll be a restoration process, which goes into the nourishment and the nourishing and the nurturing of the spirit, nurturing the soul. Because obviously our soul don't need physical food, like for example chicken, bread, whatever we eat. That's what souls don't need. But the body, don't get me wrong, the body needs it. It needs it for whatever needs it to aid the body in general. So the more we continue to go through 2020, we're being prepared. We're transitioning. I'm using the key word here is transitioning. We're sinking into the next realm. And the other realms we're still aware of. We're still connected to these other realms that's outside of this dimension. But we're transitioning to the other realms. And it is respectfully a warfare. It's not something I'm going to sit here and try to paint a nirvana picture to you, a kingdom of heaven pretty picture to you, a state of that, in the state of awareness of that within yourself. Whether you call it them terms, nirvana, kingdom of heaven, or state of heaven, whatever. But if you call it a different term, respectfully, that's what connects to you. But these other realms, these other principalities, there are other high entities, and these other high entities, again going back to what we've been talking about, is other pre-existence of spirits, and these spirits are not like humans in the term of that, sensitive to speak to that. But there's no need to fear, or not to paint a picture of fear, because there is actually a good fear, and there's the unhealthy fear. The unhealthy fear can be something that hinders you of some sort, whatever the case may be. But the other fear that's good can be simply acknowledging, knowing within yourself, facing these things, not necessarily denying them, addressing them within yourself, questioning, asking questions within your soul and spirit about them, and writing them down in the composition book. Something, for example, basic like this, writing a little composition book if you want to do it like that. If you don't, you want to record a video, you can do that. That's an option. That's an outlet. So it's important. So this is what I'm grateful to offer services in the Satnam videos to help beings out there, not just only to the melanated, respectfully indigenous, melanated black community tribes. I would respectfully, of course, start with them, start with the tribes first, because I know we're going through a healing diaspora. But I also extended to services whomever I'm led in the spirit to assist and to help and to be a blessing to, respectfully. But I'm grateful to share this beautiful, great understanding to you all in clarity and soundness, because dealing with other principality is going to require a lot out of us. It's going to respectfully require a lot. It's not going to be about wars, dealing with other matters beyond this dimension. It's not going to be about, gimme, respectfully. It's not going to be about, although we will be accessing power, we'll be accessing power, and power meaning that we'll be accessing clarity about many matters that is within the depths of our soul and our spirits, and then we'll be transitioning, as it's used the term earlier, and sinking into positions that will be actually in alignment with what we're accessing of the power within, respectfully, the chi, the power, life source within. But this is what we're going to continue to encounter as we're still going within the United States of America calendar. We're transitioning to the next year, which is 2021. I'm not going to speak too much about that year because we're still present respectfully in 2020, according to the American calendar. But in general, this is something for you to be prepared for within your soul and spirit. I got to a point within myself where seeing, like I said, talking about the anime series God of High School, and I would encourage you to go check that out if you ever want to. It's actually good. But God of High School, that's very interesting to me. But just the platform. That's why I'm very specific about platforms now. I used to kind of be all over them a little bit. I used to be on Snapchat, Twitter, still using Instagram, still using Facebook, a little bit using much more now YouTube, using LinkedIn. They use SoundCloud a while back ago before, and it had some other platforms I was just accessing. But now, narrowing all the platforms down into one really kind of just part 2 or 3 basic platforms to just be aware of the channeling that goes through these platforms, the interaction. Because these communications are real. These respectful communications are real. It's funny because all these movies they've been painting about aliens and stuff like that, that's all spirits, man. And I'm not denouncing that spirits can't take a host form. So all the little alien movies Hollywoods, they don't went wild with the movies. And then what's so funny about the movies, every single time you see the little storyline, it's respectfully, they always paint the picture. Every single movie, I gave them every single movie, that the Caucasoid, the Caucasian tribe, is always interacting first with the term the aliens. It's always engaging the aliens. And it's very funny, man. You don't really see too much of melanated indigenous tribal tribes, black community respectfully, are not engaging these specific, the term aliens, And the definition alien would be like somebody in a foreign country or something like that. Sorry, I don't have the direct exact definition. But these aliens, they pinpick, man has just loved the term of it. Honestly, respectfully, is really connected to the spirits, respectfully. And these spirits that are outside this dimension, I know some may say, well, they don't really focus on too much having a form, like a host physical body form. But I do want to give some clarity there, soundness there. These other, these other existences also are, some of them are also of melanated color. Melanated like existence of color, basically existence of color. You may label the term as black people, whatever, or just simply, black people as indigenous tribes, Amazon, different tribes from the Amazon, all that. And even anciently, historically speaking, there are ancient still sites of the communication with these spirits that have communicated, like I said earlier, in and out of this realm. So some of these entities, I'm not going to say they all paint the picture like they all bad. They all the bad people, all the bad spirits. Some of these spirits, respectfully, are actually good spirits. Some of them are good spirits, but for you to discern and decipher and decode that will require you to really connect to your higher self. That will require you to connect to your spirit and your soul, not just what you want, what your spirit and soul want. I know that's a basic connection, but really require you to really do some deep inner homework, some inner search. And it's not you searching for yourself. It may seem, some may say it may seem like that, but respectfully, you're really just understanding yourself. There's a difference between searching and understanding. So understanding is just understanding. You're not seeking to attain, you're not seeking to attach. You're just simply having an understanding, some clarity, so that clarity can give you some clear wisdom, clear understanding, so you can apply and you can go forward, doing things that could be productive and efficient for your well-being. And also that's in alignment with your spirit and soul. to do, even not just things within this dimension, respectfully, but even to the other realms that these activities will be active within your spirit and soul, that you will be in alignment to consistently do. And you won't be, as a matter of fact, you won't be deficient, or you won't be not doing something that you're not meant to be in alignment of not doing, respectfully to your existence and stuff like that. So just giving you guys awareness and the soundness and the clearness, and that's why I'm always so happy to use these tools that I use earlier as an intro to open up the intro within this brief Satnam meditation video for you all, to understand that, you know, just continue being that awareness, you know, apply within the senses, within your senses, all your senses highly, so that as you live in that application, you apply this application within yourself first, it's going to be understandable within yourself. So I'm grateful to just share this with you. This video has blessed you, has given you some clearness, some soundness about other specific interaction with other spirits outside of this realm. If it imposes, for example, to your well-being, what it's causing, it's going to cause you harm. The connections are going to cause you harm. It's going to cause you to, I guess you can say the word, use the term unsafe, feel unsafe. Then respectfully, that's why going back again, that's why connection with your ancestors is very important, so they can also protect you, and they can also help you and keep you in that path of walking that narrow path in general, and that path that's set out for you, to continue to walk, to understand about what you are to do in this jurisdiction, this realm. So I would not discourage you from connecting to them. I would not belittle their presence or belittle their positions, but respect and much gratitude and thanksgiving for them. They're very good and helpful to connect to and ask for the counsel, great guidance, and even in the sense of connecting to the divinity, the higher power, you know what I'm saying, the higher power of the divinity, of the divine, of the creators, of the makers, from the creation of the healthy masculine to the creation of the healthy feminine. They will help you connect to the makers of life, the creators of life, who established the chi of life, the breath of life, the expression of breath of life, the gift of life, the flowing of life, life flow. So respectfully, our ancestors will help us to do much in reverence and respect to our makers, our creators in general, and I give thanks for that in general. So whether you want to see the creator as its creator, the creator, whether you want to see the makers, you want to just paint a picture, the creator as a one individual, singular existence, which you may use the term God, or you see you, since you have an understanding that the creators can be, if it's revealed within you, you have an understanding that creators can be more than just a singular. It can be a team effort here, a gathering, a collectiveness here. You may say, creators, makers. I know I use the term makers and creators a lot, so I just connect to that, and still do my best to continue to have a healthy connection with that reflection, that inner reflection, that into the outer reflection of that healthy premeditated state, into meditated state properly in a balance within my soul and spirit. But definitely, so again, if it's something unhealthy, spirits, and don't get me wrong, these spirits, again, they already have a connection to this dimension, so it's not like they're waiting. I know the movies can paint, but like they're waiting to come into this atmosphere. No, they already been here. They already present here. They know this atmosphere very well. They know this dimension like it ain't. They know it. They know it in and out very well. And respectfully, they know about us. So it's very also informal about that. They know about us, so we ain't nothing new to them, and vice versa. To some of us, they ain't new to us. We are aware of their presences, and stuff like that, their connections. So that's it. Ashe, Ashe, Satnam, Ashe, Ashe to y'all. Peace and blessings. If you would like to make a donation, due to the if you have received anything from this recording, the Satnam meditation video, I will leave my Cash App info down below. I also like and encourage you to check out the YouTube. Just go through the YouTube channel. There's some music on there that you can listen to that's very helpful and stuff like that to your well-being. And then there'll be some other stuff, other mentionings of the other platforms, as I just said a term earlier, the Instagram and the Facebook. You can definitely check them out, and also the link in. But I'm happy to help serve. My name is Sak'Chi, Chi-Na-Ki, Yeshayahu, Isaiah. And again, I give much respect unto the highest praise, and the highest powers, the highest existence of life. I know people can say that could be us. We're the highest existence of creation. We're like the best part of creation. But in respect, I give that even back unto, returning back unto our existers, our makers, our creators in general. So give much gratitude and appreciation and celebration of Chi life with that. Thank y'all so much. Till then, I share again. Peace and blessings to you.